Whoa! Can we at least talk about this?
No mercy for trespassers. So you claim to have no inappropriate motives for sneaking into this room?
Not claim! I really didn't!
But once you walked in, you fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desires.
No! No, I didn't!
Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm going to be doing the Trails of Truth second challenge battle, Shadow of the Heart. This one is surprisingly difficult, okay? It really requires near perfect play or a very deep understanding of the map to clear it properly. So I'm going to explain the battle before I go into it because this is very finicky. First of all, there are 3 of these golems. And the thing about these golems is they actually, even though it's listed as 1 range, all of these golems actually have 2 range, right? General range increase by 1. So all of these golems actually have 2 range rather than just 1. They also have different effects where they, for example, this golem with the infantry soldiers, when it dies, it self-destructs, dealing AoE damage to the enemy, and also upon death, it'll clear all debuffs from friendly units on the battlefield. The second golem has Lancer soldiers. This one, when it self-destructs, has Power Seal, where upon death, silence and the active skills of enemies within 2 rings for 1 turn. And the third golem type, which is the cavalry type golem, it has Heavy Lock. When you die, all enemies within 2 range are immobilized. Lasts 1 turn. So and new golems spawn I think every turn. Not every turn. It spawns. I don't remember what the spawning rate actually, but new golems do spawn. That's the main point. And finally, Rean himself has the following effects. It has Gale X, Azure Flame Slash, so 2 AoE strikes. Okay. It also has the Butcher passive, where after taking action, all skill cooldowns reduced by 1. When you deal damage to 3 or more enemies at the same time, all skill cooldowns are reduced by 2 turns. So your goal is to avoid getting hit with 3 characters by Black Ishmelga. If he hits 3 characters, his skill cooldowns are reduced by 2 rather than just 1, which is a pain. Furthermore, when friendly units die, he enters Ogre state, blah blah blah. The other key point about this is when hit points is lower than 40%, Ogre status becomes permanent, and counterattack range is increased by 1. So once he's dropped below 40% hit points, he starts counterattacking at 2 range. It's a huge pain to deal with. Last but not least, Rean himself has very high defense, 718, and magic defense is 514. So it's very difficult to damage him because he has very high defense. His magic defense is lower though, so doing magic attacks will hurt him more. So that's important to note. Okay. So given that your characters, their attack values tend to be quite low, like even Matthew himself is only 791. If you do regular strikes on Rean, it won't do any real damage, right? 791 attack against 718 defense is almost meaningless. So for example, Matthew, in order to attack, will have to activate Strike and Smash. If he doesn't have both skills up, there's no point in attacking. You're just going to take way too much damage. Okay, so that pretty much covers everything. So one last thing I'll mention is, because these golems have 2 range, their targets of priority is your melee attackers, which is Grenier and Matthew. Right? In the case of the Snarling golem with the cavalry soldiers, it will choose to target Matthew if possible over Grenier. And in the case of the infantry golem, the Persian golem, it'll choose to target Grenier, of course, rather than Matthew. And then, of course, Rean or Black Ishmelga himself will choose to target your ranged characters whenever possible. So a lot of little finicky things to this fight. It's very annoying. So let's now demonstrate the way to clear it. And here we go. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Altina has a skill, Chip Transformation, which transforms the golem chip, making it part of your faction. So you can use this skill to make these golems join you. Okay. And of course, Cleanse, Single Target Strike, and Blade of Divine Light. Blade of Divine Light's key point is that it reduces enemies' defense and magic defense by 20%. Okay. Now I'm going to start. So I'm going to take over this golem at the beginning. Oops, wrong skill. Let me just take that back. I was totally not paying attention, clearly. So yeah, I'm going to take over this golem to start. Alright. So the first thing is to force Black Ishmelga to waste its AoE on me. And what I want is for it to hit these two. Right? That would be the best situation for me. So I'm going to have Matthew activate Strike here and just smash down Black Ishmelga. And end turn right here. Because that would avoid getting attacked by anyone for now. Then I'm going to have Omeda toss out a Holy Word attack, because that would provide healing to Matthew. And finally, I'm just going to have Grenier move out of range of the enemy. So, and not positioned here, because that would make Rean choose to AoE these two. I will place him here and just lance phalanx up. Yeah, very, very finicky battle this one. Azure Flame Slash hits two of my characters, exactly as planned. So, what's next? These golems have charged up, but leaving Matthew where he is means he won't get attacked. So I'm just going to end its turn. Next up then is I'm going to have, let's see, these two cannot move into this tile. So I'm going to have what's her name? Altina cleanse attack. Right. Next, let's move Almeda down and heal up Altina, who got burned twice due to the AoE that hit her. I'm going to just move this golem out of the way for now, because I'm going to want to use it to self-destruct next turn and dispel all debuffs after Rean has used his second AoE skill. So it's just going to move out of the way. I don't want it to hit 3 characters after all. And finally, Grenier. The option for Grenier is to strike. And Grenier can get targeted by both of these characters, that's fine. I'm going to power stab Ishmelga. So, Gale X. Grenier gets hit. Grenier gets hit again. So, at this point, what I need to do is first dispel the debuffs on my 2 characters in the back. So I'm just simply going to move this golem, self-destruct, and I'll remove those debuffs to start things off. Okay. Next, I'm going to capture this golem here. And now, I'm going to have Almeda, Holy Word attack, Black Ishmelga. And then Grenier can melee attack him. This cavalry, golem has the cavalry soldiers, so I need to put Matthew out of range, or else he'll attack Matthew rather than Grenier. So I'm going to place Matthew there. And for this golem, for now, I'm simply going to leave it here, because Black Ishmelga likes to target this golem for some reason. So by leaving it here, Grenier will protect it. And do some counterattack damage as a result. Okay. So at this point, Black Ishmelga, currently both skills are on cooldown. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Which means I'm going to have this golem start things off by using Overload to strike. Black Ishmelga. Next, Grenier will choose to lance phalanx up. Altina is definitely going to heal. So let's see. For example, I'll place her here, and I think mass heal everyone to raise everyone back to full health, except for Grenier, but he gets the talent heal. This then allows Altina to toss out a range attack. And finally, Matthew. The question is if I have Matthew strike right now. I think it's worth it. So here we go. So let's have Matthew strike and smash. And retreat. So Black Ishmelga is now down to around... He's very close to triggering his alternate state. Yeah, he just triggered the ogre state now. Okay, so he's now in his ogre state, and he has access to his AoE skills and everything. So I really need to silence him. And that's what this Subjugator Golem is now for. So I'm going to have the Subjugator Golem self-destruct and silence Rean. Okay. And next, I'm going to have Altina toss out a Blade of Divine Light. So this will debuff Black Ishmelga with minus 20% defense and minus 20% magic defense. And allow Grenier to power stab and do good damage. Matthew is going to wait. And Almeda is going to provide healing to Grenier. Ishmelga attacks my ranged character, guarded by Grenier, who does more damage to him. And now this is pretty much the final turn, more or less, where I really need to crush Black Ishmelga. He does have a lot of hit points still, but I think I can do it. It's going to be close. So let's see. I'm going to start with Altina's Cleanse attack. Going to follow up with... What the heck? Holy Word from Almeda. Grenier is going to melee strike. He is down to 3,000 hit points. So you know what? I'll wait a turn for Matthew to finish. He launches out an AoE. Ow. Altina falls. But the other two are still alive. And now Matthew is going to charge in. Activate Strike. And then smash Black Ishmelga to death. And there we go. So, surprisingly difficult. Okay, this one actually took me quite a few attempts to clear. I am really surprised at how difficult this one was. But This method should work very consistently for clearing this fight. Thanks for watching everyone, I hope you found this useful. And on that note, Nitro out.